Hey everyone, welcome back to FT News. I'm Myra. Off-Campus Season 2 is officially moving forward. But the new updates about the show are already creating a lot of reactions from fans. Because while Hannah and Garrett are returning, they're no longer the main focus. One important character is leaving completely. And the show is also changing the original book order in a pretty major way. Now for people who haven't followed all the behind-the-scenes updates, Off-Campus was designed differently from most romance shows from the very beginning. Instead of following one couple forever, the plan was always to shift the spotlight to a different romance every season. Basically similar to Bridgerton. Season 1 focused on Hannah Wells and Garrett Graham. But Season 2 is now moving toward Dean and Allie becoming the central couple instead. And according to showrunner Louisa Levy, Hannah and Garrett will still appear throughout the season. Their relationship just won't be driving the main story anymore. Now personally, I think this is probably the smartest decision for the long-term future of the series. Because romance shows sometimes struggle after the main couple gets together. Once the tension disappears, writers either create unnecessary drama or viewers slowly lose interest. So shifting the focus to another relationship while keeping the older couple around in the background actually helps the world feel bigger. And Season 1 was already setting this up. The show intentionally spent time building chemistry between Allie and Dean instead of waiting until later seasons. That wasn't accidental at all. The writers clearly wanted viewers emotionally attached to the next romance before Hannah and Garrett's story wrapped up. Now one thing that's surprising fans is the fact that the series is apparently skipping over the second off-campus book. Because in the original novels, the next main couple should have been Grace and Logan. But the show is jumping directly into the Dean and Allie storyline instead. And honestly, I can already see why some book fans are frustrated. People always get nervous when adaptations start changing story order. Especially romance fandoms. Because fans become deeply attached to certain character arcs and emotional payoffs from the books. At the same time though, I do understand why the showrunner made this choice. Television pacing works very differently compared to novels. And since Allie and Dean were already heavily introduced in Season 1, it probably feels more natural for casual viewers to continue following them immediately. Instead of suddenly shifting focus toward characters who haven't been explored as much yet. Now another major update is that Josh Heuston's character Justin apparently will not return for Season 2. And that honestly makes sense after how Season 1 ended. The Hannah, Garrett, and Justin love triangle is basically over now. According to Louisa Levy, they still like the character and may eventually bring him back later if scheduling works out. But for now, Justin is officially absent from the next season. And honestly, that's probably for the best creatively. Because dragging the same triangle forward longer could have started feeling repetitive very fast. Now one thing I do think Off-Campus handled well in Season 1 was making the relationships feel emotional without becoming overly dramatic every 5 seconds. That's becoming surprisingly rare in streaming romance shows now. A lot of series either become too cheesy, or they force non-stop toxicity just to keep audiences talking online. Off-Campus mostly balanced the emotional romance and lighter college energy pretty well. And the chemistry between the cast carried a huge part of that. Especially Hannah and Garrett. So even though they're not the leads anymore, fans will probably still be happy knowing they remain part of the story. Now Season 2 also faces a different kind of pressure. Because Season 1 became much bigger online than many people expected. Especially on TikTok and among romance fandom audiences. And once a show suddenly becomes internet popular, expectations become way harder to satisfy. Now every casting decision, relationship scene, and adaptation change gets analyzed constantly by fans. That's probably why the showrunner is already trying to reassure viewers that Hannah and Garrett's relationship still matters going forward. Because romance audiences get very protective over couples they love. Overall though, The future of off-campus still looks pretty strong right now. The rotating romance structure gives the show multiple seasons worth of material. The ensemble cast keeps expanding. And if the chemistry between Allie and Dean works as well as the writers expect, Season 2 could end up pulling even more viewers into the franchise. The biggest question now is whether fans accept the major book changes, or whether the adaptation starts dividing longtime readers more heavily moving forward. Thank you for watching this video, sending you lots of love, and I'll see you in the next one.